Hey folks, it's November 22nd, 2025. Hope all of you had a great day today, and welcome back to the Humble Gent YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I made a video on this channel. Been really busy the last 2 months, end of the year stuff with work, starting my business, but this year, 2025, has been insane for me in regards to watch collecting. I had to have purchased 30 to 40 luxury watches. For me, I like to have the watches in hand and wear it for a little bit to see which watches I actually like. Some watches I kept, some watches I sold. 2 months ago I made a video with my dream collection. And still, my collection's still evolving, but I know which watches I like the most. In this video I'll show you guys my 5 or 6 watch rotation, and there's 2 watches that really stood out in 2025 for me. One of them being my favorite watch I bought in 2025, which did come out in 2024. It is a phenomenal watch, and I'll go over that today. Before we get started, let's do a quick wrist check. Today I'm wearing my Tudor Black Bay 58 in blue. Definitely a staple in my collection. We'll always have a Tudor Black Bay 58, and I love it on this Jubilee style bracelet. Really gives it more presence. Definitely a phenomenal watch. So these are the 6 watches in my current rotation. This is not my full watch collection, just the watches I'm wearing right now. And 2 of these are watches that really stood out to me this year. Keep in mind, I bought all these watches in 2025, and this is my current rotation. I'll go through each watch, then go over the top 2, and the one watch that really stood out the most to me that became my favorite watch in 2025. And the first watch here was definitely one of the first watches I bought in 2025. Bought this early January. This is the Omega Seamaster Professional 300M 75th anniversary summer blue on this aftermarket bracelet, but this is a stunning watch. Look at that beautiful blue dial. Even the numerals on the bezel have a slight blue to it. There's so many shades of blue. It's a really phenomenal, beautiful watch. Love the case back with Poseidon there. You can see the Omega logo. It is an absolute stunning watch. Happy to have this in my collection. Second watch here is a watch that I thought I would never have because I wasn't a fan of the previous generation. The Omega Speedmaster Professional, the Hesselite. And this is a awesome Omega in the collection. Love the Hesselite crystal. Really beautiful watch. I never thought I would have one of these in my collection. The previous generation, I didn't like the bracelet. I did not like the proportions. But this newest generation, with this tapered bracelet, with how it goes to more vintage styling with the case, it is an awesome watch. And also fits really, really good on my 7-inch wrist. Such a beautiful watch. Third watch is the only Rolex in my collection right now, but it is the only Rolex I need. The Rolex Explorer 214270 Mark II, the discontinued 39mm Rolex Explorer 1. This, in my opinion, is the perfect Rolex for me. I've owned an Oyster Perpetual, I own a Submariner, I've owned the GMT Master 2, and out of all of those, the Explorer 1 is my favorite. It's the least Rolex you can buy. It's not extremely flashy, but it is the one watch that can do everything. It has beautiful polishing and all the really nice brushing on this watch. Really high quality bracelet. Some people say it's boring, but honestly, boring isn't bad. This is the most versatile Rolex you can get, and I absolutely love how it fits on wrist. Number 4 is another awesome watch, one of the newer ones in my collection, the IWC Mark 20 with this black dial, and look at the anti-reflective coating on this. It is awesome. Compared to the Explorer, which has little to no anti-reflective coating, this dial on the IWC is honestly perfect. Love the case dimensions, love the sizing of this watch. It has a 5-day power reserve with a really awesome movement. Definitely one of my favorite daily watches with the Rolex Explorer 1, and I'm gonna have this in my collection for a very long time. Number 5 is honestly beautiful. The Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT, known as the Coke. I have it on this aftermarket Jubilee style bracelet, but I also swapped over the T-Fit clasp from this watch. So it has the adjustable T-Fit clasp, Jubilee style bracelet. Look how beautiful this watch is with that Coke bezel. I'm not the big fan of gilt in general, but on this watch, it actually works perfect. It is a beautiful watch, and because I have this, I have no need for a GMT Master 2 by Rolex. This watch, in my opinion, Tudor knocked it out of the park. People were expecting Rolex to come out with this design, with this bezel. Tudor came out with it with the case design of the Tudor Black Bay 58. You get that case design, 39mm, that fits perfect. I believe it's only 47mm lug to lug, so it'll fit a huge variety of wrist sizes. This watch is honestly awesome. You get a great movement, you have the GMT function, you have the beautiful bezel, high quality by Tudor. This watch is honestly so good. And number 6 was the watch I was just wearing a moment ago. Classic staple in my collection here. Tudor Black Bay 58, the blue that came out in 2020, came out during COVID time. Another staple in the collection, like I said. And another watch, I have a Jubilee style aftermarket bracelet. This watch is honestly the best daily. I love this blue color. It's one of those watches that got me into Tudor and getting more into luxury watches, and it'll always have a place in my heart. I want to give a quick shout out to my Apple Watch Series 10. That's in this slate titanium. That case is beautiful. I never really shouted out Apple Watch before. I'm new to the Apple Watch, and I do love this. I do wear this when I sleep and when I work out. It tracks a lot of my stuff. I'm a huge fan, obviously, of classic mechanical and quartz watches, but I'm able to enjoy the Apple Watch because the Apple Watch and other smartwatches can do so many things mechanical watches can't do. And I'm able to enjoy this and my classical watches in the same collection. So these 6 mechanical watches I bought all in 2025, but the 2 that really stood out to me the most and my favorite out of all of these that really blew me away. I'll start with my second favorite, which is this right here. Omega Speedmaster Professional Hesalite. Like I said earlier in this video, I was never a fan of chronographs. I was never a fan of the Omega Speedmaster. I know the whole moon situation, I wouldn't really care about that. I think I wasn't a fan of the previous generation Speedmasters, but this one right here with all the curves, with more of the classical design, it is a beautiful watch. I do love the Sapphire Sandwich version. I've held it, I've worn it many times. I prefer the Hesalite version here. It gives you more of that warm dial tone, and I love the chronograph on this watch. I got this and my 40mm Speedmaster Racing at the same time. Both of them were great watches, but this one here, the Speedmaster Professional Hesalite, stood out so much more. At 42mm with a very small lug to lug, I believe it's at like 47, I believe. It fits perfect on my 7-inch wrist. It really got me into chronographs. Look how perfect this watch fits on my wrist. It really looks great. I know there's a cult following behind this watch right here, but I was against the Omega Speedmaster for so long. The design didn't reside with me. I knew the history was there. I knew there was a cult following behind it. But this generation, once I switched over to this generation, I didn't give it a try, but my buddy sold me this watch earlier this year for a steal, and I picked it up, wore it every day for a couple months, and I really fell in love with the Omega Speedmaster. Look how beautiful and warm that dial is. Now, my number 1 watch is a watch that really blew me away. From the time it was released and reviews started coming out, it blew a lot of people away. I do love my Rolex Explorer 214270 Mark II. It's definitely one of my favorite watches, but it's not my favorite watch of 2025. My favorite watch for 2025 that absolutely blew me away, and still to this day when I look at this dial bezel combo, it looks so good on wrist. When other people see it, they know it's special. And that watch is the Black Bay 58 GMT Coke. I know this was a 2024 release, but I got this in 2025. I fell in love instantly when I opened the box. I did do an unboxing and first impressions of this watch, but this watch right here really opened my eyes to what Tudor has been doing. Tudor has been doing so many phenomenal things, especially the last couple of years, that really made me like them more than Rolex. Rolex is definitely more reserved, not taking as many risks, but Tudor has definitely been killing it. Ever since they came out in 2018 with the original black gilt Tudor Black Bay 58, then in 2020 with this blue Black Bay 58, they have absolutely been killing it. The amount of variations of this watch is insane, but it's definitely appreciated. And all their ties with different celebrities, all the different variations of watches with their GMTs and their chronographs, they've been doing things Rolex wished they could do. Everyone thought in 2024, everyone thought Rolex was going to come out with a Coke bezel GMT Master 2 in 2024. And out of nowhere, Tudor came out with this watch, and it was instantly loved by so many people. I love that I put the Black Bay 58 GMT on this Jubilee style bracelet, swapped over the clasp, got the T-fit adjustment to get that perfect fit, and the Tudor Black Bay 58 is perfect sizing for so many people, including myself, with a 39mm case diameter, 47mm lug to lug, very thin on wrist. It is very similar dimensions to my Black Bay 58 Blue. It is a millimeter or two thicker. It's not really noticeable, but look how perfect this fits on my 7-inch wrist. It literally is the perfect size watch. And look how beautiful the red and black bezel is, that Coke bezel. The gilt, like I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of gilt, but on this watch, it just works. It goes back to that vintage styling from classic GMT Master 2s by Rolex. And we'll go over some specs really quick for this watch. Like I said, 39mm case diameter, Goldilocks size, with only a 12.8mm thickness, so very thin on the wrist. Great for honestly any occasion. I can dress this up, dress it down. It can be more sporty. I can definitely use it as a dress watch as well, even though it's a GMT with a bezel. Lug to lug, very short with a 47mm lug to lug. You can see that on my 7-inch wrist. Doesn't go over, fits perfect. And this also has 200 meters of water resistance. Similar to the Black Bay 58 over here. So it has dive watch specs as a GMT watch. Both these watches are just so good. Tudor definitely knows what they're doing with the Black Bay series, making all kinds of Black Bays. The Black Bay 58s, the Black Bay 41s, the Black Bay 36, 38, 41s, the Pros. There's a reason why there's so many variations of this watch. Some are Meta certified, some are not. It's the different sizes and the variety you get with Tudor that's making them stand apart from different brands right now. Alright, put this back on. I'll take a step back and see how it looks. Like I said, 7-inch wrist. Honestly, perfect fitting watch. I can wear it casually with a t-shirt. I can wear it with a suit, long sleeves. This is a watch that's so versatile, and it just has a phenomenal look to it. And the Coke bezel, the black and that burgundy is really, really nice. It gives it more of a warm tone to it. Gives it more of that vintage styling, especially with that crystal, as you can see there. Dome crystal with that coloring gives it more of a vintage look with the gilt. And having a true GMT movement at 12mm in this size of a case is awesome. Movement is the MT5450-U, self-wired mechanical GMT movement by Tudor. It's COSC and Meta certified, has a silicone hairspring, and is anti-magnetic up to 15,000 Gauss. Power reserve is 65 hours with this, which is great. And one thing you get on the 58 GMT that you don't get on the normal Black Bay 58, you get a date window on here, which I always forget about. At 3 o'clock, you get that date window, which I totally forget the normal Black Bay 58, the blue and the black don't have a date on there. And honestly, it's nice having a date. I prefer to have a date on watches most of the time. But watches like this that don't have it, that have perfect symmetry. Same with the Rolex Explorer, no date. Same with the Omega Speedmaster, no date. These watches have perfect symmetry and don't need a date window, and I'm totally okay with that. But having a date on a multi-time zone watch feels like it's definitely necessary. The Black Bay 58 is a compelling vintage-inspired piece that you really can't go wrong unless you have a massive wrist over 8 inches. It could look small, but for the majority of people, this could be your one and only watch in your collection. No problem. The way this looks, the specs of the watch, the way that Tudor's been absolutely killing it the last couple of years, this really blew me away when this came out, and finally getting this in the flesh earlier this year immediately made this my #1 watch of 2025. I'm gonna end the video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I hope I was able to explain why the Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT is my favorite purchase of 2025. A lot of it is feeling. It's that feeling of getting this watch in the mail, seeing it for the first time, being blown away, getting past that honeymoon phase, and still being in love with this watch. When I open my watch box, I go for this majority of the time, showing how much I actually love this watch. Putting it on the Jubilee style bracelet, in my opinion, elevated it. A lot of people don't like it, some people do, but just look how great this watch looks anyways. The bezel, the gilt on there, everything about this watch, from how it looks, from the specs, it blew me away, and I couldn't be any happier with the Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT. So please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a comment down below what your favorite watch out of these 6 were right here. I do have other watches in my collection. This is just my current rotation. I have a bunch of other video ideas I'm planning to film soon. If you want me to make a specific video about any of these watches, leave a comment down below. I can do some comparisons as well. I also want to make another video about the IWC Mark 20, which I've been rocking a lot lately. One of my favorite watches in my collection. And remember, I do respond back to every single comment I get. And remember to stay humble.